Hi everyone, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in today's video I want to talk about hyaluronic acid and whether it actually hydrates the skin. Because this is another one of those questions that keeps coming back all the time. And when you look it up online and type, "Does hyaluronic acid hydrate the skin?" into Google, you will usually get something like this. Hyaluronic acid is a powerful skin hydrator that draws moisture into the skin, holds large amounts of water, and makes the skin look plump, smooth and healthy. And you will often see the advice that it should be sealed in with a moisturizer or oil, especially in dry climates. And when you read that, it sounds complete, even though a lot of context is missing. So let's slow this down a bit and look at what's actually happening. Now, hyaluronic acid is a molecule that can bind a lot of water, and that part is true. And in skincare products, it always comes dissolved in water. So when you apply, let's say, a hyaluronic acid serum, you're really applying water to your skin together with a molecule that's very good at holding onto that water. And that water sits right at the surface of the skin. And because of that, the very outer layers temporarily contain more water, which changes both how the skin feels and how the surface reflects light. So in that sense, yes, hyaluronic acid does hydrate the surface of the skin. But this is also where the misunderstanding starts, because this kind of hydration is very local and very temporary. It doesn't change how your skin hydrates itself. It doesn't influence how much water your body delivers to the skin. And it doesn't address why your skin might feel dehydrated in the first place. Because actual biological hydration of the skin depends on how water is delivered and regulated inside the body, through things like circulation, fluid balance and barrier function. And a topical product can't really influence those processes, because they're controlled from the inside, not at the surface. So hyaluronic acid doesn't hydrate the skin in the same way your body hydrates skin. What it really does is improve how hydration looks and feels at the surface. But that doesn't make it useless. It just means its role is very different from what it's often expected to do. Now, for some people, that added surface water makes a clear difference, because the skin is already relatively stable and not losing moisture very quickly. For others, when the skin is under more stress or the environment is pulling water away faster, that added surface hydration disappears quickly, so the effect is short-lived or even barely noticeable. And that's usually where the confusion comes from. You might feel like your skin loves hyaluronic acid, or you might feel like it does absolutely nothing. And both experiences can be true at the same time. Hyaluronic acid doesn't fix dehydration. It supports surface hydration under the conditions that are already there. So, when you ask whether hyaluronic acid actually hydrates the skin, the most accurate answer is this. Yes, it hydrates the surface of the skin by delivering and holding water there. But it doesn't hydrate the skin in a systemic or self-sustaining way. And once you understand that difference, it becomes much easier to use hyaluronic acid without expecting it to do a job it was never meant to do. And I hope that this helped you understand how it actually works. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!